You guys excited to see Pauly Shore? Yeah, all right, come on, clap, cheer. Let's bring out Pauly Shore, everybody!
Yeah. You can sit wherever you'd like. What's up? Thank you guys for gathering in the afternoon. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. It's pretty wild.
There sure is.
Right? A lot of ghouls and, Walking Dead.
Yeah, all sorts of things. There's some in the crowd here.
Yeah.
How are you doing today, Pauly?
I'm doing okay. I'm moving right now, so I'm like on the phone every second to my assistant in Las Vegas because I'm getting out of Las Vegas. Enough is enough, as you can tell by my appearance. No, I'm moving back to Los Angeles so I can do movies for these people here. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that sounds great.
The pandemic made us all do some crazy stuff, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, everyone took off. So now I miss home and I want to go home, yeah.
How long were you in Vegas?
About a month.
Okay.
About a month. That's long enough, right?
Yeah,
I mean, most people can only handle for 2 days.
Yeah, I can, yeah. 1 month in Vegas will really take it out of you.
Yeah, no, it's weird because I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, and during COVID, it was really hard for me to watch California burn, because that was like my home. So I'm too weak to live there. I didn't want to be the Uber Eats guy, everyone in LA that lived during COVID during that time was very locked down. And I didn't want to be, I wanted to be free, I'm like one of those people that want to be free. I don't want to be told what to do. And in California, you get in a lot of trouble if you do things. So I wanted to get out of there. And then I moved to Vegas. So I really enjoyed it. And I got some great friends out in Las Vegas. And now I'm going to be going out there a lot more too. But yeah, so.
Awesome. Well,
yeah,
you mentioned,
that's what I've been doing today too.
You mentioned, filming stuff. Is there any kind of projects upcoming you want to plug or?
It's weird. I just came out in Pinocchio.
Ooh,
which I don't know if you guys saw Pinocchio as the voice of Pinocchio. I have Guest House that's on Netflix right now. I don't know if you guys saw Guest House. No?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Mostly I'm doing a lot of online stuff.
Okay.
A lot of I have a band. I mean, not that I'm a real singer, but I pretend that I am, which makes it funny to me. It's called Pauly Shore and the Crusties. Wow. So it's me and these senior citizen guys that I met in Vegas, and we just play these songs. And then we have an album coming out called Crustopolis Volume 1, and it's all. It's what happens when you move to Vegas. You start a cover band. So we did that, and that was fun though because it's hard. Singing is hard. It's like learning lines for a film or a TV show is really hard, but singing is impossible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I can't imagine.
It's hard. So I've been messing with that, and that's fun. And then I don't have a podcast on a channel called Jam in the Van, which is a pretty cool. These people are leaving. They're not fans of Jam in the Van. I understand, sir. I get it. It's a PG. No, I'm just kidding. So it's a website that just hosts music. So there's all bands on there. So that's been really fun for me just to kind of interview musicians. Mm-hmm. Kind of goes back to the old MTV days. And then as far as the acting stuff, I'm developing a lot of stuff, and I don't know. My YouTube's pretty cool. Yeah. So I got a lot of cool stuff on there right now. So.
Do you ever dabble in sort of behind the camera, production, any of that stuff?
Well, a lot of the stuff that I create is the stuff that I do behind. So for instance, I don't know. There's a girl named Tammy. I don't know if you guys know her on Instagram. She's got a lot of followers. She's like a chubby redneck chick. You know her? Yeah, Tammy, yeah. So I just shot something with her, so that was something that I produced and I came up with. So we're finishing the edit for that. So that's going to hit YouTube and social media pretty soon. So the question, is the baby's crying? Okay. The question that you asked is a question, that's the thing about the business. It doesn't really matter what level you do it as long as you do it. Mm-hmm. And the internet is such an interesting place that you can, because back when I was growing up, if you wanted to make something, you had to like put it through development, and like it takes time and get financing through. And now you can just come up with something and put it out, and it kind of represents. I don't want to call it a pilot presentation, but you know, if it gets a lot of views, people see it, and you want to develop stuff. But I think it's just about doing, not about what level you're doing. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I get some water, please?
Yeah, I can work on that. Well, maybe if anybody wants to start lining up and asking,
They're scared. They're not going to line up.
They'll line up. Somebody's going to have a question. You can just come over here to the microphone. Yeah, you, sir. If you, I assume you're not going to the restroom. Come on.
And also, can I get a water from one of the staff? I'm sorry, I didn't. Thank you so much.
She's off to it.
Thank you.
You have a question, sir?
Yeah.
Hi. First, I want to say thanks for providing my early teen years with amazing movies. Encino Man, Biodome, In the Army Now, Jury Duty, Son-in-Law. I just have one question. What's better? What do you like better? Wheezing the juice or munching the grindage?
It's pretty equal, dude. I can't answer that. That's you know what I mean? Yeah, I can't answer that. That's a tie score. We have to postpone the game on that one.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, the gentleman with the greens coming down to give me some
Mr.
H2O.
Water.
There he is. Don't fall, sir. Don't
clap
fall.
And cheer for
Yeah,
the
there
guy.
he is.
There you go.
Don't trip. There you go. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And if anybody else has any other questions, feel free. Please just come up here, stand over at the microphone, and we'll get those answered. In the meantime, you know, we'll just. Oh.
What? Yeah, or we can just play some music in between. Everyone.
Do we have another question?
Good. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Go. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi. Sorry, I don't normally do this because I'm not really good at getting in front of people. So, but my boyfriend wanted to know, could you do the weasel?
Only if people turn their heads and look that way.
Okay.
Everyone's got to look around. Because if you stare at me, you're going to see my trick. You're going to be like, wait a minute, that whole time it was fake. Because it's the whistle, buddy. You can't see it. It might have been a thing in the back. Uh-oh. I don't have any bud, bro. I'm sorry, dude.
That's
looking for weed. There's kids.
Well, Son-in-Law is my wife's favorite movie, and I've seen it 1,000 times now.
Thank you.
But I personally loved how you dressed in that movie. Do you still have any of those clothes? Like,
I probably auctioned them off on eBay several years ago. So,
all right.
I don't really have that stuff anymore. You know, that was Disney stuff. You know, they owned it, so they probably have it.
Every time I see it on screen, I'm like, man, I'd rock that.
Yeah. No, it's funny during like the holidays. Like you always see like on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, like people dress like that, and I think it's pretty cute. Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's still, you guys have to realize this is I don't want to say it's uncomfortable, but like I'm not saying that wasn't part of who I was. But it's not who I am. So like people see, like even the guy in Guest House was not who I am. You know what I mean? And that's what acting is. You know, acting is becoming this character, and you know what I mean? And part of me is Crawl, but part of me is definitely not Crawl. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry to bum you guys out, but that's what all these guys do. A lot of people they find the role, they get the role, they develop it, and they put some of themselves into it, but it's definitely a character, yeah. So.
Awesome, thank you. Oh, is this a dual question, maybe?
So I first want to say thank you for giving me this beautiful experience of Encino Man, because that's my favorite movie.
Thank you.
And I have another question. Cats or dogs?
Wait, that wasn't a question, that was a statement.
Oh yeah, a statement.
Did you want to ask me anything from Encino Man? Like anything?
No. But cats or dogs?
It was perfection, right? You're saying perfection.
Yes.
No, you were going to ask me
What
something.
happened to
You
the
had one
second
question. You were going to ask me the question.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. Whoa, dude.
I like wiggles. I like
Yeah, right. So your sidekick just came up for emotional support. She didn't have to say anything, right?
Wow.
Kind of like going to go see the wizard from The Wizard of Oz, right? Get me the broomstick from the Wicked Witch of the West.
She's from Russia. I was going to ask you in Russian.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yes?
Do you have a favorite memory with Sean Astin? And what was your favorite moment in filming Son-in-Law?
No really good memories filming with Sean Astin, sorry. It's actually a nightmare, but no. Sean's just a talented actor, you know what I mean? So like everything was pretty professional on the set. We went in there, did our scenes, and you know, it was good. I like working with good actors. It makes me funnier, you know? And you know, that's like in Son-in-Law was such a great, I mean, I was just, as an actor, I was salivating so much to work with Lane Smith and the kid, Patrick. Wait, where are you going? Am I finished? Okay, got it. And that's why I think the comedy bounced so well in Son-in-Law, because the actors were so good. So Sean is a great actor. So for me, as a comic and an actor, to play off of him was you know, was nice, and especially Brendan, who became the caveman, which was a great foil for me. And then what was the other question? Son-in-Law? What did you say about Son-in-Law?
Do you have a favorite moment in filming Son-in-Law?
I love the moment with the kid, Patrick Renna, who played the chubby kid with the red hair, the Sandlot kid. I love the scene where I come into his room and I have, you know, I'm taking his sandwich and, you know what I mean? And I'm telling him to scoot over, and like, it's just like, who's this creepy dude coming in my room? You know, just like, as a comic and as an actor, when you get set up for scenes like that, you get excited. So that was a really fun scene, you know? So I don't know, you know? There was a lot of really fun scenes. Riding the pig was cool.
Hey, my name is Lisa. So I would like to thank you for my entire high school career getting serenaded.
Because I'm a stony, crusty dude with the mop on top. There you go.
Yeah. But I was curious. I've never heard the story of the inspiration of Lisa. Because I know it wasn't about me, but...
It was about you. No, it was a joke that I came up with when I was younger. I said, I can't say it in here. It's inappropriate and there's kids. So I'm trying to be a little PG-13. So it was... it's weird. It's uncomfortable for me to talk about this, but... I'd say I did a joke in my act where you see a pack of, like, you know, I don't want to say it, but blah, blah, blah women, and you call the word Lisa, at least one of them are going to turn around. So it's a joke that I did a long time ago, but I can't do it because there's kids here, so I don't want to.
Was there like a Lisa that gave you the name? I guess is my question, because I knew that part of the act.
Oh, there was this girl, Debbie, that was kind of inspired by it, you know, where she came out to California from like a small town, you know, trying to make it, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like, I mean, it's kind of how Hollywood was back then. You know, and Hollywood was that place, the Greyhound bus and the big doughy eyes. And, you know, I'm going out to Hollywood on the Greyhound bus that we saw, like Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, Get Off. And that was kind of like the template of how to come out to Hollywood, whether you're a dude or a chick.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Real quick question. Speaking of PG-13, are you doing any like photo ops or signings or anything?
Yeah.
You have? Do you have any more coming up, or
I'm not
possibly?
quite
So I'm sure if you really want maybe some more un-PG-13 stories, find Pauly.
Yeah.
Look it up.
There's just like crying kids here.
No, I think you're doing the right thing.
I don't need to say anything.
Right. We have another question.
Well, I love everything that you've been in, but I really loved the episode you were in Workaholics. Hilarious episode. Did you know those guys beforehand, or did they bring you on? Are you good buddies? What was the experience of doing that Workaholics episode?
I really didn't know them. No, I never met them before. They just called me or my agent or my manager. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but I was a fan of the show. I like Workaholics. I think it was a great show, and it was really hot on Comedy Central. It's kind of like when they asked me to do Entourage, you know? You know, as an actor, when you get asked to do certain things, you get excited. And yeah, I was excited to do that, but I didn't know those guys. But, you know, they're great guys, yeah.
Awesome,
Nice.
thank you.
Yeah.
And feel free, oh, we got another question.
Look at this guy coming down the side. We like him. He's cool.
One, super stoked to see you tonight at the Comedy Underground.
Yes.
Looking forward to that big time.
That'll be kind of raunchy.
Yeah, good.
Don't bring your kids.
Good, because I don't like any of the movies.
Yeah.
But I had, just kind of learning more about you as a person, besides entertainment and movies and music. What do? You got a weekend, no responsibilities. What is it that you like to do to really just get away from it all?
It's really boring.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like to just try to. like to go to the gym. I know that sounds stupid, but
No.
I like to go there. I like to get massages. I like to go to the sauna. I like to just try to relax my mind.
Cool.
You know what I mean? I think my mind is always like this, always going, always thinking, whether it's personal stuff or career stuff or creative stuff. I just try to stop my mind from going 100 miles an hour all the time.
Cool.
I'm always trying to create stuff. It's like inside of me. So.
Awesome. And then one other thing. Fiance wanted a fit check from you.
A what?
A fit check?
A foot?
A fit check. Your
What does
outfit.
that mean? Oh, you want to look at it?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
This is really cool. So if you Google Pauly Shore merchandise, like on TV or on the internet, there's a lot of people making this stuff, right? So this company started making. Oh wait, hang on. This company made this shirt, and they sell it online. And I thought it was pretty cool. They sent it to me.
Awesome. Look at that.
He said it's fire, bro. So they sent this to me, but then when I asked for another one, they wanted to charge me full price. I'm like, that's me on. He goes, that's not my problem. Figure it out.
What is the world coming to?
Look at this.
Yeah.
So what I did was I took this design and I gave it to my graphics guy and I just said, steal this design and then copy it and do my own. So,
There you go. That showed them.
Right.
Awesome.
I met you before, right? Yeah, we've done this
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
I remember, yeah. I wasn't sure.
Hey, buddy. You said earlier that you're not the individual characters, but do you...
Part of it is, but not 100%.
But some of it is.
Yes, absolutely.
So who is your favorite comedian or who inspired you?
Stand-up or actor?
Whoever inspired you.
Well,
Other than mom, dad.
the older people only know these references, like George Carlin, Sam Kinison,
Yeah.
Richard Pryor, and as an actor, I love Tom Hanks. Yeah, I love Tom Hanks, and yeah. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Cool.
And second one, is there anyone now that you just really look to and appreciate?
Well, as a stand-up comic, I think pretty much there's Dave Chappelle and everyone else.
Woo!
So, for me, it's really hard to kind of answer that question because I was raised around it. So my parents raised me at a comedy club, so I've been around the best my whole life. So when I see people now, I'm kind of a little bit jaded, and not like, oh, that guy's so great, even though the whole audience is laughing. You know what I mean? So I think Chappelle is, and Chris Rock, I love Chris Rock, and Bill Burr is great, so there's some good guys out there, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I love the new Jonah Hill film called You People. I think it's great on so many levels on Netflix.
So speaking of all the comedy stuff, I know, again, condolences for the passing of your mom a few years ago. But how's it been taking over the Comedy Store and the legacy that she created that you grew up with?
Well, the Comedy Store is the Comedy Store is the Comedy Store is the Comedy Store. So my brothers are in charge of that right now.
Okay.
I'm mostly just performing there.
Okay.
But it's running great, and it's a sensitive place for me because when I'm there, it's hard to be there because it's my mom's and she's not with us. So when I'm there, I walk into it and it feels like not like, oh, I'm going on stage. It's a lot different than when I go here tonight where it's not my mom's place. So I don't know. I was really close with my mom, you know, and I'm still having a hard time, you know, not having her, you know, in my life. So the Comedy Store is a sensitive place for me, and but it's doing great, and you know, I'll always be there. That's one of the reasons why I'm moving back.
Cool.
Is to be around the comedians at the Comedy Store. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I had a question. So if you say, if somebody was trying to get into acting or comedy or, you know, anything maybe out in LA or just the internet, the biz, whatever, do you have any sort of general advice that you would throw their way?
I mean, it's similar to like telling yourself you're going to get in good shape. You know, you just kind of, you know, we all have a reason why we're not going to do it. You know what I mean? I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I mean? All that stuff. So unless the acting and the comedy is something that physically and emotionally gets you out of bed, then don't do it. And as far as, so you have to have that thing, you know, it's kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger with the working out. Like, you know, it was in his blood, you know? So for stand-up and acting, it's got to be that way. And the fortunate thing these days is the internet. You can make stuff for you know, for no money, and you can enroll your friends around you with your concept and your idea, and it's like getting on a bike. You know, you just keep falling off, you keep getting on, you fall off, you keep getting on, and eventually you figure out, you know, how to write, because it's all about the story, and the story could be about anything. And it's all about the audience wanting to watch the story. And so when you write, it's important. You write as a producer, you also write as a director, and you write for pacing. Because there's a lot of people that write that never make anything. And when you write and you've never made anything, it's hard to pace your writing because you don't look at. That's why I think Quentin Tarantino's so genius, because he does it all. And when he writes, and I think he really thinks of the production, and he thinks of the direction, thinks of the tone, the music, the pacing. So I think it's just about doing, you know?
Yeah. Did you, so when you were, you know, making your way up and coming, whatever, did you ever have a time where you second guessed any of it, or was it always just like, this is what I want to do, barreling through, always motivated?
Are you talking about the writing and producing, directing stuff, or?
Well, just in your general kind of career, your progression, was there ever a time you remember where you kind of like took a step back and second guessed any of it all, or was it just pretty much?
Well, you always kind of second guess projects. You know, when you get an offer, like even when I did Guest House, you know, I had to really kind of rewrite it and help cast it and put the whole thing, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I have a lot of experience, so I'm able to pull from that to try to protect myself regarding if something is going to be good or not. So,
awesome.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so.
Cool. Well, and if, like I said, if you guys have any more questions, keep coming up. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep thinking of things. Oh, it looks like we got one over here.
Hey, Pauly Shore, Andy Dick, great to see you both reunited on stage together.
Thank you very much.
My question's for Pauly, though. Favorite on-screen relationship?
I do love the relationship with Andy Dick, to be honest. I thought Andy Dick was great in that movie, and I thought us playing off each other was great. I thought I found Andy Dick at such a perfect, fertile time. It was cool about a lot of my stuff that I saved a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I have all the screen tests from In the Army now, and Son-in-Law. So there's a lot of actors that read, because when I was starring in these movies, the actors would come in and read with the star of the movie. So I was starring in the Army movie, and it was so exciting. So Disney would bring in these different actors, and these screen tests are crazy that I have. I got Chris Rock, who auditioned for it. I forgot, because you look at it back like, oh man, you know what I mean? And then I saw Adrian Brody. He auditioned for Andy's role. And who else was there? I don't know. There was Adam, I forgot his last name, but he's pretty famous and big right now. But when Andy Dick came in and his screen test, you knew it. You know what I mean? When you saw us together, it worked. So that's why Disney fell in love with him. And it was interesting for Encino Man. Ben Stiller actually read for Brendan Fraser's role, and I have that screen test. So I have Ben Stiller auditioning to play the caveman. So it's cool. I'm gonna release it online soon. Right before Brendan gets his Oscar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Do you have a question, miss, or are you just walking your dog? Okay.
Service dog.
Okay.
She walks me.
Gotcha.
Okay. Throughout all of the movies that you did, you had a wonderful genre of different musics.
What happened?
When your movies, you had a wonderful genre of all kinds of different music. Did you ever get to meet anyone in the bands or singers from that music?
Oh, you're saying in the movies they had great soundtracks.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Did you ever get to meet anyone that was in those bands or the singers?
I mean, I'm kind of like you guys. Like, I worship people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I worship musicians, I worship actors. So when I got on MTV, I got to meet all the bands. Yeah, I was on MTV, so for many years. So that's where I met all the bands.
Didn't let us watch it. It was evil.
No, but that's when I met all the musicians. You asked about when not really during my movies. I mean, there was, those are just the soundtracks. But I was lucky enough to meet Kurt Cobain.
Wow.
I met, I met Madonna before. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm like you guys. I look up to these singers, and I'm in God. Like, oh my God. Like, Sean Penn, who I'm obsessed with. I met him before. So.
You kind of get the same experience we get when we meet people like you.
Yeah, I'm a fan of all of just like you people, of all cinema, of all music, all that stuff. Yeah, I get. I'm inspired.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Another question.
Thank you for coming out here and answering these questions. It's great to see you and, just kind of informally meet a living legend.
What's your name?
Mine is Nathan.
Nathan. Give it up for Nathan, ladies and gentlemen. He's cool.
Kind of just riffing off of that last topic, and before you said you really admire Tom Hanks, do you have any actors or even directors that you wish you could have worked with, would like to do a project with in the
anyone that
future?
you wouldn't expect me to work with, I would love to work with. Because I've created such a tone or a cadence or a thing that, what I mean? I think, the one thing that actors want to do is what Brendan's doing right now. Everyone is the same. Every one of those guys that are signing down there, everyone in Hollywood, everyone wants to work with someone that you would never expect them to work with, to go outside your comfort zone. Because all of us get kind of pigeonholed, not just actors, but you guys in your lives, you're a certain way, but yet you have other things you want to do, and that's kind of where I'm at. So to me, that's like a God thing. Like, God, I think, will, put that opportunity when the time comes. So, but to answer your question, anyone that you would never expect, Pauly Shore, to work with, and I think that it would be very different and interesting. If you go on my YouTube page, you can see a sketch I did that's totally different where I play a sociopath, and it's called Sin City Psycho. If you haven't seen it, it's an 11-minute short that I did, and you'll be like, what the hell? So, yeah, I miss acting. I really do. You know what I mean? And that's why I continue to do my comedy and all my stuff on my pages and stuff and different things like that, because, you know, acting is where I belong. I belong on the set. I belong messing with the wardrobe people, the hair and makeup people, and, you know, and having a good time and bringing, you know, and every time I go to a set, you know, all the crew is like the same. They're like, whoa, dude, what's up? You know, let's do this. Everyone's excited, so, yeah.
So we should be pushing for a Denzel Pauly Shore movie soon?
I think you guys should simply get on the internet tonight, and you should tweet at Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, and just say, wake up, put Pauly Shore on some of your stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
You can do that, right?
Or directors or people, because out of sight, out of mind. If people don't know, then they're not gonna think. So someday, do something different someday.
Nice. All right, we got another question over here.
I'm nervous because I crushed on you forever.
Oh, you got this.
I know. I'm from Corpus, and by the time I was able to go to Padre Island you were gone, but it's okay. I'm Maria, by the way. Okay, I got
What's your name?
Maria.
Maria, give it up for Maria, guys. She's...
It's probably piggybacking off of his, but I was just wondering, you've never done like a horror movie, and if you haven't, would you, and what? Or if you could be in one that was already done.
Well, I mean, again, I just would want to work with someone that would elevate me. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to do a horror movie that's going to be with the director that's a first-time director, that hasn't done stuff, that doesn't... I mean, because whenever you get an offer to do anything in the business, the first thing you ask is, what else have they done? You know, is this going to elevate me? And then you deal with the story and all that other stuff and the financing and all that. So I would do any genre as long as it was going to elevate me. You know, I did Phantom of the Mall. That was like one of my first movies. 3 people saw it here today. But yeah, you know, you just want to work with people that are going to elevate you, I think, yeah.
Right, but okay, so looking at all the crazy ones, if there was any horror flicks, and I don't know if you're...
Anyway, you got to speak in the mic.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, all good.
I'm new at this. So if there was any horror movie that you could think of and be like, I could have done that.
Horror movies?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
No? Even
I could do anything as long as I was given the opportunity.
It's a vague answer.
I could do what?
It's a vague answer, but I'll take it.
No, I could. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a specific film that I've seen that I'm like, oh, I would have da-da-da-da on that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's just, I don't know. It's just, again, like I said, it depends on who's, I don't know. I mean, yeah. So.
Well, thank you. I want to try to get these last 2 questions in, and then we probably got to wrap it up. So.
Hi again.
Yo, I don't have my chaps from son-in-law, bro. Sorry.
No, it's a shame.
Yeah.
But do you have like a favorite book or an IP that hasn't been made into a show or a movie that you're like, man,
well,
I'd love to do that?
Yeah. My dad actually. My history, again, a lot of people don't know my history. I grew up literally on the Sunset Strip at the Comedy Store. Okay. So my dad was a comedian in the 1950s, in the 60s, and that's where he met my mom, and that happened. But my dad wrote a book in the 80s called The Warm Up, because my dad opened for the biggest entertainers in the business. He opened for Elvis Presley, my father.
Wow.
Yeah,
cool.
so I actually met Elvis when I was a kid.
Wow.
I sat on his lap. I would give him pills. I'd be here for the king, for the wheeze, for the king, for the wheeze. Shit, I killed Elvis. Anyways. No, but my dad's book, I think, would be interesting and different. I played my father. You know, it would take place in, like, you know, the 70s and 80s. that would be, I think, really different. You know what I mean? But it's very emotional. It's like going to the Comedy Store and being there, like tapping into like his alcoholism and him being not faithful to my mom, and in the Comedy Store and touring and opening for Elvis. I mean, his book's pretty fascinating. It's called The Warm Up.
Yeah, cool. Check it out.
And it's, if it wasn't for my father, there wouldn't have been all this stuff. Yeah, he started it all. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And one last question.
Hey, Pauly Shore, I'm Courtney.
Hi, Courtney. Give it up for Courtney, guys. Courtney.
So I've loved you since I was 17. My husband's okay with that. So.
Cool.
Out of all your movies that you have made, have you considered, which movie would you consider doing a sequel to?
Good question.
Well, they talk about Biodome a lot, and they talk about Encino Man a lot. So those are probably the two that I would do. Probably Biodome is the closest that we've gotten to getting it made. So again, it's one of those things, if you guys want to go online, Amazon bought MGM, and they have a script, they have everything. Everything is already organized, but it's always about the money and the producer, and they've been talking about it. Steven's down to do it, and I think it would be cool if the script was right. But I think it's Bud and Doyle go to Mars. I think that's what
interesting.
The premise
Makes
was.
sense. All right. Well, thank you so much, Courtney. And give it up one more time for Pauly Shore. Thank you for coming to Atlanta. Thank you. Comedy Underground tonight. Where are you going to be at tonight?
Yeah, we'll be at the Atlanta Theater downtown, I think, tonight, doing some shows where I'll be a little bit more loose and a little bit more raunchy. So.
Awesome. All right. Well, give it up one more time for Pauly Shore. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
This is Captain Zap Brannigan. I prefer to call myself Admiral Zap Brannigan. I'd like to draw your attention to that sexy subscribe button, those curves, that triangle. Like Leela's eye. Click it. Ah, that was great. Follow fun and have fandom and yabo.